Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. William, how was your weekend?
It's going. I mean, it's about to finish up with the game tonight, But besides
Yeah.
that, it's been good.
Now, this you know that we were always gonna talk about the WWE, Smackdown, and Raw. Give our reviews and thoughts, even though it's like a week late. Doesn't matter. I just want to talk about it. But before we start that shit, Chiefs, Eagles. You mentioned it that you're gonna watch the game. Who do you have winning?
Who do I want winning? The Eagles. Who do I have winning? Part of the Chiefs.
Do you
But
think it's gonna be a fair game?
fuck no, it's never a fair game with the Chiefs.
All right. So you have the Chiefs, but you want the Eagles. All right. Well,
Yeah,
obviously you know that I want the Eagles. So let's go. Let's talk about. Let's start with Raw. SmackDown's more fresh in my head, so I will say this: that episode of SmackDown was really good. But let's get into Raw.
hmm
Raw Netflix. It looks like that there is something stupid that I didn't like when they said that Cody Rhodes couldn't be in the on Raw because he was injured. That was two things of the reason why I hated that. I was like, it doesn't fucking matter because Cody's not part of Raw,
right,
right? So I'm like, that was stupid. Why would he even mention that?
right.
And I'm like, if he was injured, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, whatever, you know. I guess it was because after every big show, I guess he has to be there, even though I believe he should only be at SmackDown. Let's keep the brand split. But then at the end, when Kevin Owens comes out and he pile drives us to Sami Zayn, I was like, okay, he's the one who got fucking injured.
Right.
Like he's the one who took that beating. Yet he's okay to come out in Raw and still do a move, but Cody is too injured to be in Raw just to talk. Like it was that pissed me off, even though that was the ending of it all and the beginning of it all. But that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because they took the same bumps on the ring with the ladders. They took the same hits. The only extra hit that Kevin Owens took was obviously that Alabama slam. So
Hmm.
if Cody Rhodes isn't there because he was injured, because of the match, like, hey, technically speaking, like the same hits he was taking, Kevin was taking at the same time, and then
Yeah,
obviously Kevin got the last, the last fall with the Alabama slam on the ladder. Um, so I agree, it's something dumb that they did, incorporate. So technically, Kevin should have been out even further before even Cody.
yes. Obviously, you were mad about the finishing with Jay winning. He cuts his promo. Gunther comes out. It looks like we're heading that direction. Do you think he's going to choose Cody or do you think he's going to choose Gunther?
I mean, I think he's going Gunther. I think there's no reason why they would put a face versus a face. Even after the promo they dropped on Friday night, it's a given that they're gonna go face heel. So most likely, I think it's going Gunther, especially because of the unfinished business that he lost. So I'm assuming they're going in that direction.
The only thing that kind of triggers me, and everybody knows this, because I don't like Jay, right? I don't like Jay. Um, I am starting to do the freaking thing when the song comes out. Like I'm into it, cool. I'm starting to say yeet, cool. Like no hay pedo, but he's just boring in the ring, and that's where it triggers me that he's boring in the ring. Like how come people like someone so boring in the ring? I was
Right.
like, he only has three move sets, but I am acknowledging him or acknowledge me, right? That he is so over with the crowd. Like when people started saying one more time, I was like, damn, like wow. And that's where I think WWE fucked up that they put Jay versus at main event. So I was like, we already saw this, and to see it 2 months later is gonna be kind of stupid again. Like, cause it's literally fresh in our heads.
Right. I mean, I guess it's just for the, like, obviously how most fights have the three and done. So in this case, this would be either fight three or there's one more fight in between where
Yes.
Jay loses again, and then come Mania, Jay ends up winning the title at Mania. Or that could potentially be fight number two, and then there's a third fight after at Backlash. That potentially could be them again going at it. So
Yeah, that
that's
and
probably
that's it.
why they did it, but
It sucks because it. I have to give him his props, right? I have to give Jay that he is over, and because I am a fan of Rusev when he was very over with the WWE, and that freaking McMahon didn't push that trigger to make him a champion, I cannot deny the fact that Jay has to be a champion because he's so over with the people. It's like when Daniel Bryan and his Yes movement, Kofi Mania. We were so with the crowd that they have to give him, even if he runs the title for 2-3 months, and even if I'm bored, like whatever, like at least give him a 2-3 month run, because in a way, because he's so over with the crowd, he kind of deserves it. Well, not kind of, he deserves it because of the crowd, because he's done fucking what 12 years in WWE or more. Um, he's done so much in that regard, even though his moveset sucks.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like you're saying. It's basically the crowd. The crowd move is the reason why Jay's getting the shot. Same thing with Daniel Bryan. Same thing with last year with Cody Rhodes and the whole Cody Crybabies. You know, that was like we all are set with the idea of it was gonna be Roman versus Rock no matter what. And
Yeah.
because of the Cody Crybabies, that's why they flipped it out.
Yes.
So yes, it's definitely the crowd why they're going in this direction.
And, and that's what's crazy, that it's that basically is Triple H who's leading this, right? He's leading the new WWE, so he's the one making decisions like that. Like, yes, we're gonna do this. I always thought that that Triple H kept people, like he would take a shovel and bury them. I always thought that because he buried Booker T in WrestleMania.
Right.
He buried CM Punk in the Summer of Punk. Like there's many moment. He beat Chris Jericho. There's been a lot of moments where I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, you. We always thought it was Triple H, and maybe it was freaking Vince McMahon all this time. Maybe it was Vince McMahon who would tell Triple H, no, get that motherfucker. Fuck that fool. I don't give a shit about WCW people, and that's why Chris Jericho never went over. That's why Eddie Guerrero had a hard time going over. That's why como se llama, the one I just mentioned, Booker T, Goldberg not winning the Elimination Chamber. And
Right.
in a way, I always felt that because Goldberg didn't win that at that moment, that ruined Goldberg's run. Like it wasn't as good. That should have been his defining moment, and they took that away. So, and yes, people, I'm a Goldberg fan. I don't give a fuck. I was little, and fuck you. The reason I have to defend is because a lot of people say that he can't wrestle, that he was a botcher, but yet fucking Seth Rollins literally put Sting on the fucking turnbuckle and injured him. He put Finn Balor and fucking ruined his momentum.
Right.
So no, fuck you. If you're not gonna talk shit on Seth Rollins, you cannot talk shit on Goldberg. So fuck off. Es la
I
verdad,
mean,
güey.
you have a point. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, because obviously you're right. Like Seth Rollins has injured multiple people on multiple occasions with that turnbuckle. I mean, he stopped doing it. But now every time he does it, like I personally, I'm like scared of it. I'm like, bro, like you do that and it hurts him. Like it's like now I'm like, is it story or is it real? Is he actually hurt now?
Yes.
So like just because of the history behind it.
And for instance, like when he did it on the night one of Netflix, when he did it on CM Punk, we know that CM Punk is very injury prone. We know this, and for him to do that, I'm like, bro, come on! Like, are you trying to injure him and remove him away from WrestleMania? Like that was my take on that. So that's why I'm like, it does get scary at some point. Like us as fans that are like you said, are you doing it on purpose just to sabotage someone, or are you doing it out of storyline? Because obviously CM Punk has to approve it. Whoever he's using it on, any single one, they have to approve that move, because if they don't want to take a spot, they're not going to take a spot.
Right.
Now, we obviously touched on Jay. I do believe he's going to choose Gunther, and I do believe he's going to win that Mania. I'll be shocked if he doesn't.
I mean, I agree. Obviously, he's going for a title no matter what. That's unless if he for some odd reason goes to NXT and challenges that champion, which is because it's the direction they want him to go. But I think like you said, I think it is Gunther. I could still potentially see Gunther holding out. If they want to say in a way F you to the fans, like hey, like even though Jey Uso's over, like he's not stronger than Gunther. Gunther has to take the win. But because that's the logic I always see it. I'm like, okay, so if, Gunther has defeated them, Priest has defeated, let's say X, Y, and Z, and then you have a Jey Uso beating Gunther. Then you telling me that Jey Uso is better than Priest and not every single one that's challenged Gunther and lost to Gunther. That's the way I've always seen it.
Yeah,
Same thing with Sami Zayn when he beat him for the Intercontinental Championship. It's like Wait, for the Intercontinental. It's like,
Yes.
so you're telling me Sami Zayn was stronger than any other opponent that Gunther had? It's like I don't see that, but hey,
Yeah. And even that one still gets me a lot because I always felt that it should have been Chad Gable.
right,
Like, even his heel run that he's had been having, it's okay. It's okay. It's just that when he was face, he wasn't scared of no one. And then now that he's a heel, he's scared of everyone. I'm like, if anything, if you're gonna make him a heel, make him a badass heel. And because
right,
they turned him into a I tengo miedo. I'm like, no, I've been hating this. Like I've always saw this about Alpha Academy. I'm like, you beat Tazawa, you beat El Gordito. I keep forgetting his name.
Otis.
Otis. I'm like, and then you face the metal of the trio. That's how I always saw it. And with this ones, I'm like, yeah, you beat the American, the All American or whatever they're called, American made.
American made.
I'm like, you beat the tag teams. I'm like, and then it's Chad Gable, but sometimes he comes out as cowardly. I'm like, and it's before he was never a coward. And I know that that's like a WWE thing. Face will always be this strong heel or a coward. Unless you're like a big muscular heel, then you're just a bruiser. And sometimes I'm like, we need to change that. We need to change that and shit.
Right.
Especially if you're face and you're like a badass. Look at The Rock. Except The Rock plays it really good. As a final boss, he was never a coward. But as corporate Rock, as Hollywood Rock, as I think Nation of Domination, he was a coward when he was playing the bad guy. And as a face, he's always like, "Oh, come, just bring it and shit." So that's something that I've always hated about the WWE when it comes to heel and faces. So Penta contra what's his name, William? The German guy from Imperium.
It's not. I forgot his name. I forgot his name.
Tiffany Stratton.
Kaiser Ludwig.
There you go, Ludwig. All right, Ludwig. That was okay. So I'm gonna put it this way. I remember you 2 weeks ago. You complained about Penta. That his moveset is so basic.
Right.
Right. And with Ludwig, he showed you something different.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I was saying. I just didn't want to keep seeing the repetitive.
Yes.
Moveset, so finally did stretch it out more. Like, okay,
so yeah,
that's something different. Yeah.
Yes, now we got something better. And I was like, all right. I'm like, and it's funny because to me, right away, I was thinking about you. I was like, oh, William finally something different.
Yeah.
Like he's finally doing that. And it looks like we're finally gonna get into a storyline. It's either gonna be Pete Dunne or it's either gonna be Ludwig with Penta. It's either one. That's probably his next two storylines, unless we're gonna get a triple threat. But it looks like that's what we're getting at the Elimination Chamber or the Monday before Elimination Chamber.
I mean, it's going somewhere in that direction. I guess in this case, Malachi Black, whenever he comes back, I guess he's not gonna be part of this storyline for now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Chad Gable is still gonna do something with Malachi Black. I guess some training, maybe. I don't know.
If it's Malachi Black.
If it is him, yes, exactly. Whoever that mystery character is, I guess he's not gonna be implemented into a story until future.
And you gotta remember it was Aleister Black in WWE.
Right. I mean, right. Same person. But regardless, yeah. So I'm assuming they're not gonna integrate him into any storyline in the time being. I guess Chad Gable will be doing his workout and practices with him or whatever, working out with him. Yes. To where he either Chad Gable comes back and faces Penta again, a different version of Chad Gable, or in this case it's Aleister Black, Malachi Black, whichever. Yeah. Where he comes back regardless. Yeah.
The good thing about this is like we're at least gonna start seeing promos now for Penta. We're gonna start seeing promos. We're gonna start seeing a storyline. So now we're gonna see how well his character can be written.
Right.
The next one would be Charlotte Flair on her. She's being a heel.
I mean, she started. She what was it on Monday night? Obviously, they started booing her. So at that point, she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go heel with it." And obviously, on Friday night, she just, Friday night was a different story than Monday night. On Friday night, she completely showed the heel side of her.
I loved her. I loved her line on SmackDown when she's like, "When I was with Rhea, it was like what was it? A kid telling me, or a child trying to talk to me. He's like, and when I talk to you, you're a baby." And I was like, when I saw her, like, damn, I'm like, no matter what, I'm like, even if she's overrated, Charlotte's really good on the mic.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I'm pretty sure she recognizes that in her own, like because she's just like, I mean, she plays a great heel. Like no matter what, people hate her, and she's like, yeah, love me or hate me. Like I mean, I'm still here. I'm still the best. You know.
There's a reason why her dad's Ric Flair, and that guy was amazing as a heel. And
Right.
and, and the only difference between Rick and Charlotte, as Rick got older, people started loving him. Like even if he was heel, we loved him. We loved him. As opposed to Charlotte, I don't think she can ever be loved as a heel. Like we know we hate her, and we're gonna
Right.
continue to leave her there. It's like for Eddie Guerrero Jr. Once you start seeing Eddie Guerrero Jr. turning, we're gonna start cheering for him because I believe he already touched that spectrum where he's full heel, no one likes him, and now it's gonna rise and it's gonna continue to turn into a face. And it's
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
be he's gonna be like our next Rock, where Rock can be this much hated and then loved, and then now that we want to hate him, we're loving him, we're love hating him. I'll
Right.
continue to be an asshole, continue to be an asshole. That's gonna be Eddie Guerrero Jr. as time goes by. Um,
I mean, if you want to talk on that subject, like I agree. I think, and especially now, I believe they're not. I guess what is it? What is it? Boosting the booze or whatever on him. Like it's getting to the point where now it's in this case Logan Paul who's getting all the booze and all the hate, which
yeah,
is perfectly fine. And Dom is like losing that aura of booze and no longer getting this like the same as it used to be. So like you said, I'm pretty sure it's going back downhill where it's gonna be like, okay, gonna flip you over.
that, and you also got to remember that people are done with the Judgment Day. That's one.
Right.
Two, he hasn't been getting a lot of screen time on the mic because Liv Morgan is not a champion anymore, so she doesn't get screen time. He doesn't
Right.
get screen time.
Right.
Um, everybody's with Priest and with Mommy, they're cheering him. So también eso. So you need to see a lot of those things. That's why in a way Finn Balor gets pinned all the time because one, we don't care about the Judgment Day. Two, I'm like, we already know that he's gonna get pinned. So in a way, we kind of stop caring for Finn. That's the way to go about it. I when it comes to Charlotte, I think she's gonna go the Rhea Ripley route. I would love for her to choose Tiffany because I believe Tiffany would need that big win. But because they're both big, I feel like Charlotte and Rhea should be a better matchup at WrestleMania.
Um, I think she's going Tiffany. I think because I mean, as much as I want to see a three time like the third match between them because this would be the third match I believe. Like I believe WWE is working with a different story for Rhea with a different character from Raw.
Okay.
Right now at SmackDown it's like okay, well it's Tiffany time. Like you could easily put Charlotte with Tiffany for now because I don't see anybody else from SmackDown like challenging Tiffany beside Nia Jax. But yeah, Alexa Bliss just came back though, and obviously so did Charlotte Flair. Pero who's the bigger star in this case? You know, it's like okay, who's gonna help Tiffany go into stardom, more into stardom? Is it gonna be Charlotte or is it gonna be Alexa Bliss in this case?
It has to be Charlotte.
Yeah.
Right now, and then of course, I believe WWE is dropping the bomb, Braun Breaker. I don't know why he's not wrestling. He's a champion. He's the Intercontinental, and he's not getting screen time except for promos and more promos.
I mean, that's better than freaking Shinsuke. He's not wrestling and he's not getting promos, you know, but he's the U.S. champion.
He's in the back. He's in the back.
I mean, he is in the back and right there, just standing there, you know. Yeah, so you're right. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Obviously, his little 5 minutes of fame was in the Royal Rumble with Roman, and with the werewolf. I forgot his name.
Yes.
So I know he had that, but you're right. He hasn't been wrestling. I don't know if it's because they haven't found someone to pair with him for a storyline / feud. You know, so that's part of the reason why. And because they're still trying to figure out where all these wrestlers are be going. Hey, he's better at SmackDown. He's better at Raw. And this. So I think they're still figuring that part out.
And then of course, AJ Styles is coming to Raw. That's great. Well, that means we're gonna get Gunther. We're gonna get CM Punk. We might get a Cena AJ. Oh, but Cena's not even with the brand, so it doesn't really matter. And we also might get Jey Uso versus AJ Styles. So if he becomes a champion, but even if he's not, he's still on Raw. CM Punk versus Sami Zayn. I'll say this: This is the first time I've actually been entertained by a Sami Zayn match.
I mean, the match was great. I mean, don't get me wrong. For me, fucking Raw is really late now, so I'm just like, we're like 3 hours. Like, oh my god, it's starting to catch on me to the
Yeah,
point like, bro, I'm like falling asleep. I'm like, but I needed to watch that match, and I watched it, and I was like, the next now. One thing I did notice with Raw on Netflix is this episode for some reason it was just very glitchy. I don't know if you had the same thing,
yes,
but so bad. And I was just like, I don't know if it was. I was like, it's not YS6 type shit because it's different. I'm like, this is just Netflix shit. Like,
and they're on SmackDown, so it shouldn't be
and
happening.
so I was just like this is. It was just bad. And when Kevin Owens obviously came out, I saw a TikToker say it, and I thought the same thing. I was like, wait, did he was Sammy about to attack Punk, and Kevin Owens came to save him? Or like what because like what was happening, there was like the little breaking apart was happening. To the next thing you just see the power gyro happening, and I was like, okay, well we missed everything, but
Yeah, and the glitching is just that everybody's watching it live. Netflix has to work on it, has to work on their antennas, boost them up, because people are gonna be watching, especially the Mondays after a big main event. Remember, it's Royal Rumble, so SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and Survivor Series.
right.
And that's when it gets the most views on Raw, because especially the night after WrestleMania, because we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what stars are still there and things like that. But I did get that glitchy problem. The match itself was really good. Like I said, I enjoyed it, and first time I've been entertained by a Sami Zayn. Again, I don't like Sami Zayn. I find him. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's his promo skills that I find him boring, because his moveset is not that bad. Like, he's actually a pretty good wrestler. It's just that I'm probably just stuck with his Ring of Honor when he was really good doing hardcore matches, and then when I see him, I'm like, I know that WWE tamed you, but you're boring to me.
Right. I mean, well, staying on that topic, on the Sami Zayn topic, obviously with Kevin Owens attacking him coming out, is that the WrestleMania match?
I was gonna say yes until Santi Sap said that because they're both Canadians and Elimination Chambers in Canada, that's gonna be the Canadian match. The thing is, I'm like, okay, if it is in Elimination Chamber, it's the main event.
No, the Chamber is the main event, but
But it's
but
Canadians.
the only I mean, I don't know if Santi said this. I didn't see that from Santi, but I did see someone else say it's not going to go to Mania. It's going to the Chamber, and at the Chamber, that's when Randy Orton returns, and then you set up Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at Mania.
I think it was Santi. No, I'm not sure. I'm not. Who did I? I know I heard it from someone.
Yeah,
And
but
I think it was,
I'm not sure if it was Santi or not, but somebody did say that, and I was like, I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening because again, they are both Canadians. They're gonna have it in their home state, and the only reason why I will see that main eventing the Chamber is because of the Randy Orton return. I was like, but that's the only reason why I could see him. Besides that, like, no, the Chamber has to be the main event.
there's only one thing that I think we could have worked something really better for Canada. Like, like, okay, we're gonna give you two Canadians. I'm like, give them a special guest referee. Put Trish Stratus in there, or put Bret Hart as special
Shit, I
guest.
was gonna say shit. Put Bret Hart. That's
Yes, you can even go as far, but I don't think they will do it because they're in AEW. AEW allows them to be free agents. Go get Chris Jericho or freaking Edge as special guests just for that
right.
one match, just to be like, okay, here you go, Canada, because you are big supporters of us. You brought a lot of talent from Canada. Um, but keep that special guest hidden, like, oh, just know that on the night of, we're gonna have a special guest
Right.
until it comes out. But that would be just a very nice, beautiful touch to that wrestling thing because they're both Canadians. I don't know if I want to see Randy Orton versus KO at WrestleMania though.
I mean, the thing is, unless if you're gonna plan with having a Mania without Orton, because at this point, when does he come back?
I guess
After Mania.
that depends on Orton. But I know what you're talking. I know where you're going to, and it's the same thing that I agreed that it should have never been Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus the Bloodline as the main event. It should have been the triple threat, which was it was Drew McIntyre. It was Drew McIntyre. It was who the hell was it? It was Drew McIntyre. Dude, I swear. Oh my god.
For last Mania?
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
what?
for SmackDown, for SmackDown.
Oh, Damian Priest. No, sorry. Drew, LA Knight, and Jimmy.
There you go. That triple threat was a toda madre. It was really good.
See, obviously, I can't speak a lot on SmackDown because I don't have access to SmackDown. But obviously, I see little highlights, little clips, and I did see some of it. So yeah, I mean, the little bit that I did see, I was like, okay, that was a good fight. That was a good match. Um, the one thing in SmackDown terms, what I'm starting to see is what the direction they're heading into at Mania. You already have three of the contestants, which is obviously CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, with next Monday being Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman versus Damian Priest.
Which was
I kind of have an idea of who's winning that match already.
Priest is winning,
because
and Braun is taking the.
yeah, Braun's taking the pin and Priest is winning because they're trying. I guess they're trying to set up Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I guess they're trying to set that up because of the Rumble and because of all that.
To make it fair, Drew should pin Priest, and now we have a reason why. Because if I don't like the way they're pushing Drew McIntyre as a crybaby, right? Drew McIntyre, that shit was hilarious. Because if Priest pins him again, that means that he's just gonna be pity, not pity. Como se dice, like chillón. Like, oh, you pinned me, you eliminated me, you gave me my chance from WrestleMania. Like, I don't want that from Drew. Drew's such a great guy in the mic that you need at least give him a one-on-one.
Right. I mean, again, I'm pretty sure that's the direction they're heading. I think for them, that's the WrestleMania match for both of them, for Damian Priest and for Drew. I believe that'll be a lock already moving into Mania for sure. Yeah. As for I read us also online with the whole chamber stuff. The reason why Roman Reigns is not going to be there, obviously he got injured at the Rumble, but that's to keep him, since he wasn't going to win the chamber. They're like, hey, we're not going to have you in there to not take a pin, and then you come back at the middle of the chamber and cost somebody the shot at Mania.
And it's, if it's going that direction, you need to see cómo se va a meter, right? Because if it's that, he's gonna attack Punk. Because everybody believes.
Is it Punk?
Everybody believes it could be a triple threat between Seth, Punk, and Roman because he eliminated both, and the history they have between all three. The thing is that I'm like, Punk does not need to be in that triple threat. We still haven't had that because in a way, Seth and Roman carried the company for 5 years, for the last 5 years or the last 4 years, that they never actually got a one-on-one pay-per-view on their own, like as the guys. So this should be their nail in the coffin so that they can finally end this Shield thing.
Right.
Until Dean Ambrose comes back, if he ever comes back to get a triple threat. But this should be their nail on the coffin and move on. So it should just be a one-on-one, on my opinion. Punk should not be in there. The thing is, if Punk doesn't win the chamber, who does Punk feud with? If Cena doesn't win the chamber, who does Cena feud with?
Because that's what I'm trying to obviously piece together, because what I'm seeing is like that, okay, well, one thing for sure, and it clicked on me, like, wait, just because Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble doesn't necessarily mean he's main eventing WrestleMania. Like, he'll have his title shot with Gunther, but it's not going to be a main event. It's going to be like in the middle of Mania, whether night 1 first match, night 2 first match. It's
tradition for the Royal Rumble winner to main event WrestleMania. So I think he's going to get the Saturday night.
I mean, but that's the thing, because I'm like, even if it's tradition or not, I'm like, for CM Punk, it was always like, hey, I never got my main event. It was never about the championship. It was the main event. In this case, it's like, okay, well, hey, we did it to Punk. We could do it with Jey and Gunther. Like, but in this case, it's like, I'm pretty sure a bigger match, even if it's a triple threat or if it's a 1v1 between Roman and Seth, that's bigger, more marketable than Jey versus Gunther.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm sure they're going to main event night 1, whether it's a triple threat between the three, or just Roman versus Seth, because I'm seeing it as it's going to be a one-on-one Seth and Roman, because the stomp was what caused Roman to miss on the chamber. At the chamber, Roman comes out. He might not get in, but it's going to distract Seth Rollins to where he gets like a roll-up pin, I guess you would say. You know, like he'll be looking at Roman coming down the ramp. He's not gonna be able to get in because the chamber's closed, but he'll be seeing Roman coming in, and he'll like distract him, and that's how Seth Rollins is out. When it comes down to Cena and Punk, that's who I'm like. As much as I don't think Cena will win it, because I just like, I don't know, for some reason I feel like they're pushing this too much. Like, you're getting your 17, you're getting it, but I feel like they're not gonna give him 17.
The
Like,
sorry, keep going, keep going.
like, I don't think they're gonna give him 17. Not at Mania, at least. Like, it's gonna happen, just not at Mania. It's gonna happen like towards his end of his run of retirement tour or whatever.
Now, Cena as a wrestler, now that he's older, now that he's not in the spotlight, I do know that he puts a lot of people forward. Right? He does that a lot. So I have an idea. If Cena does not win, he's not a Grand Slam champion. There's one belt that he needs. The Intercontinental Championship belt. And Cena versus Braun Breaker would be a WrestleMania moment.
Yes, but at the same time, I'm still with the. Well, yes, there I could see that happening, but it's like, I mean, again, yes, John Cena is a free agent, and the way he could be here and there doesn't really matter because he's not really in the company. But it's like, obviously that's what WWE to figure out. How would you get him in that picture, in that Intercontinental title picture?
Because I can have it for me. It would be that, right? You only have 1 month to WrestleMania. Who can I challenge? You want to have an amazing match? Go fight AJ Styles. He's back. We can get AJ Styles versus Cena, which is the only guy who's ever given Cena a 5-star match or close to it. Other than that, you have Randy Orton. If Randy Orton doesn't go fuck up with KO, but I feel they're saving Randy for his last match. If Cena and CM Punk don't win the Elimination Chamber, which is beyond ridiculous, it would be Cena versus Punk at WrestleMania. That would be an epic one too. And of course, like I said, he's not a Grand Slam champion. This would be the way to get his Grand Slam champion. And if we look into the future, Sheamus should be Cena for that Intercontinental before Cena goes and gets his last belt. Because Sheamus is also not a Grand Slam champion, and he needs the Intercontinental to win that championship. But obviously, we're looking too much into it right now. I'm focusing on the Chamber, and sorry that the girls matches, the tag team match was also good. And there was another singles women's match, I think it was, if I recall.
Well, yeah, what's Alexa Bliss versus
who? Yeah. And I'm happy that I'm happy that she won. I'm happy that Alexa won. ¿Cómo se llama? Because we do need more star power in that chamber. At the moment,
yeah, I mean, it's her, Liv. I think that's it, right? Just two of them.
At the moment, yes. At the moment, they're building up to it, so it should. If there's another star moment, I think Bianca Belair is in it too. No.
Possibly. I haven't kept up with.
I don't think it was a tag match then. I think it was a singles match, and she won, Bianca Belair. But anyhow, like everything in SmackDown was really good. It's just that right now we got caught trapped in Elimination Chamber. I'll say this about the Elimination Chamber: if CM Punk or Cena wins, those are my two options right now. There's no other way, right? They're gonna choose Cody, and it's face versus face. Now let's just say. And this is perfect because I'm gonna screen record this and put it out there so that I can be the one who said it. At WrestleMania, Punk just wants his moment. Cena wants his belt, right? So it's okay. If it's those two, but if WWE wants to turn Cody, because we're gonna get Solo versus fucking Cody at Elimination Chamber, we know that. But if they want to turn the table on Cody. In WrestleMania Sunday night 2, main event, CM Punk or CM Punk or Cena have them in this thing, right? Somehow Cody manages him to get off their shoulders, push him towards the ref, or make them do their finisher, but the ref is down. Technically, they won 1, 2, 3, and then have them turn around to go wake up the ref. When he comes up, before he actually realizes and wakes up, Cody should low blow them, starting the boo chants.
Yeah,
Cody hits. CM Punk got his moment. Cena won his belt. Right, both of them. Cody turns heel and he still continues another year with his belt as the bad guy.
I mean, I see that. I wasn't seeing it like that, but I was seeing it like that. I see it as in this case, Cena Cody. Let's just say,
Yeah.
just how people kind of sort of, some people, not a lot, are complaining about Jey Uso winning the Rumble because over Cena. I'm pretty sure if you have Cena going one-on-one on Cody and Cody beats Cena, people are gonna be like, nah, screw that. Like, now we're gonna start turning on Cody because that should have been Cena's match to win. And then that's how you simply just unnaturally start his heel turn.
And the reason I'm saving that heel turn, it's almost like a Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn, that he used Vince McMahon to become heel. People didn't like it. It was kind of bullshit and only lasted I think like a month or two. This is before the WCW thing, before when he was a bad guy for WCW. But with the Cody thing, when he gets in the ring, it's still as a face, and if he lands that low blow, either a kick or a hit, people are gonna boo because that's cheating. That's automatic. That's not Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero's thing was light cheating and stealing, good or bad, and he made it look good. This is Cody literally cheating, like he cheated against Kevin Owens when he used the chair.
The chair, yeah.
Because technically Kevin Owens won.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, I mean, he got the 3 count, right? I think it was, and then the chair happened, and then yeah.
So like I said, either one. And the thing, and now that I have more sense of talking this out, I do believe that if CM Punk wins, there's only 2 matches for Cena. That's AJ Styles or Braun Breaker for that belt. Because I don't know if Penta is gonna make it to the Intercontinental in WrestleMania by then. I know that he looked at it, but I don't know if he's gonna make it to WrestleMania.
Well, I don't know. I think somehow, some way, Penta ends up with the Intercontinental just for Backlash. But I don't know if the match will be he wins the title at Backlash or he walks in as champion at Backlash. No, because obviously it is in Mexico and they're trying to, get the hype up for the Mexican luchadores, which in this case, Rey Mysterio is not gonna do anything with titles. So you have Penta, who's been eyeing the Intercontinental for 2-3 episodes already.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that shit, huh? That is gonna be in Mexico.
Yeah, and Backlash is 1 month after Mania, so it's like either you walk in as a champion or that's when you win your champion.
Then it should be an honor, because I know that Penta said that he wants to wrestle John Cena or Finn Balor. So if you want to go in that direction, Cena beats Braun Breaker at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental and then drops it to Penta at Backlash.
That's only yeah.
Cena needs to retire a Grand Slam champion. Like he needs all of them, right? And other than another big deal for the 17 is the Grand Slam before he leads into that. Because remember, in a way, Cena needs his WrestleMania moment. This is his last WrestleMania. He's not going to make it next year. I think in December, it's his last match and that's it.
Yeah.
So he needs a WrestleMania moment. So if it's not Cody, it's got to be another belt or, like I said, another amazing match with AJ Styles. And that one's simple, right? It's just AJ Styles comes out. I want to wrestle you. Boom. There you go. That's his first match.
Because the only thing I see with the Cena becoming Grand Slam is it's fine. But it's like people will be like, okay, so, and then he drops it at Backlash. It'll be like, so he only won it just to be Grand Slam. Yeah. That's the only reason why he won it. He already dropped it. And that's the only reason why he took it off Breaker in this case. Yes. Which is kind of like, damn, just like, like that.
And that sets up also Braun Breaker to start going into the main event scene, because who has a win over Braun Breaker?
Jey Uso.
And who might beat Gunther at WrestleMania?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a writer, but call me WWE. People are gonna be flaming. You're stupid. Anyways, but at the moment, I see more feuds for Cena if he doesn't win the Elimination Chamber over CM Punk, and I don't want to see CM Punk at the Triple Threat. I don't want to see that as a Triple Threat.
I just don't like you said. I just don't see more. I guess. I mean, I guess WWE just messed up my logic with the whole Jey Uso win, because I'm just like, the logic is CM Punk wins and then challenges Cody. But that's logical. But it's like, nah, we're not doing logic anymore, because clearly we just got Jey Uso to win. something that nobody was expecting. So it's like, okay, so right now you're looking at it like who else is going to be in that chamber? You have Drew and you have Damon Priest. But then you have 2 more spots. I'm like, do I really see Logan Paul going after? Because I know Logan Paul was winning his match against Mysterio. That's a given. That's 100% given.
Yeah.
So it's like who?
Logan Paul versus John Cena. You just gave it away.
For what? For Mania?
For Mania.
I mean,
for Mania. Come on, it's obvious. It's right there. You have the biggest and you have the biggest star from WWE.
Okay, well, hold on, because you're onto something. Because actually, the question is, who's the last wrestler? I don't know who the last wrestler is yet. You know, for the chamber, because from what I'm starting to see in pictures together, Priest and Drew are out to Mania. Okay, so that's already 2 off the chamber.
It's gonna be sad.
And the reason why, what's gonna be? Oh wait, he's not in the chambers. Yeah, you're right. Seth is the 6th one. Yeah, you're right. It is Seth. Yeah. So I guess in a way, if it is Cena versus Logan Paul at Mania, it's because Cena got Logan Paul eliminated from the Rumble, and in this case, Logan Paul's gonna eliminate Cena from the chamber.
With what? The brass knuckle.
The brass knuckles. I mean, that's the only thing he cares.
I would have it like this: Logan beats Cena, cheating style, gets everyone shocked. Seth pins Logan. Then we have CM Punk Seth. Roman comes out to distract Seth. CM Punk wins,
and CM Punk goes on to Cody, and then Seth and Roman. Yeah.
And then we get Logan Paul, famous YouTuber versus the famous one from WWE. You ruined it. Thank you, William. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. We'll see what's up in Monday with more promos. Maybe we get it wrong and Rey Mysterio wins. We need a high flyer at the chamber.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure he's gonna win. I mean, Logan Paul is a high flyer. What do you mean?
By the way, it might be Penta versus Rey Mysterio and Backlash because they're Mexicans, or it would be Penta versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania to give us a lucha libre.
I mean,
we just need to see promos and what's up and what's going on. All right.
Yeah, basically.